Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. In today's video, I'm counting down my 8 favorite Indian films of the year so far. But first, roll that intro. We have to start off this list with the obvious. At number 8 is KGF 2 by Prashant Neel. The story of an outsider who rises from rags to riches, going against common logic and the expectations of everyone else who was born with a silver spoon. Is this the story of KGF? Or the crew of KGF. I'll be honest, I didn't like KGF chapter 1 really that much. It was loud, it was regressive, the editing gave me a headache. But because the second half of the film was a lot more focused, I was actually really looking forward to KGF chapter 2. And then they released that teaser which just exploded in terms of expectations, and when the film released, they matched those expectations. The adrenaline-fueled editing which now has a purpose, the pulsating soundtrack, the consistently grungy visuals, the bonkers vision of Prashant Neel, and the pure conviction with which everything comes together to tell a simple story, elevated by painstakingly crafted scenes which makes you forget about the fact that you may not even know who this actor Yash is. But within 15 minutes, like millions of others, I found myself becoming a kid all over again and rooting for Rocky Bhai. That's the reason for the success of KGF, and that's the power of cinema. The conviction to make you believe and take you on a journey like no other. At number 7 is Kadasi Vivasai by one of my favorite Tamil filmmakers, Manigandan. Seriously, it's a disgrace that most people didn't watch this film in the theaters just thinking that it's going to be some slow, boring documentary about a farmer. But actually, I experienced it on the big screen with a houseful audience, and this world that Manigandan created, it just sucked me in and took my breath away. This film did to me what usually Miyazaki's films do, like those Studio Ghibli films like My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away. It picked me up from the chaos of city life, took me far away to a more peaceful, greener land, made me sit down under this huge tree and told me this simple story with elements of fantasy, magic realism, and what it takes to be human. If those films represented the soul of Japan, this film represents India. And the sad part is, the Japanese audience celebrated those movies and made them some of the most highest grossing Japanese films of all time. But here in India, we on the other hand are fighting about which film to boycott this week. Number 6 is Gangubai Kathiawadi by Sanjay Leela Bansali, who plays Leonardo da Vinci, Alia plays his Mona Lisa, and we are all just mere mortals coming to marvel at his creation. In this post-pandemic age where most filmmakers are confused about what to make, Bansali just took his age-old recipe of telling the simplest story on the grandest scale possible. He added some paisa vasool dialogues, breathtaking visuals, drool-worthy production design, a genuinely good soundtrack, and an informed, badass Alia Bhatt. Every pessimist who watched the teaser and said that it's never going to work, that she's never going to be able to pull this off, Alia took all of those opinions, rolled it up into a ball, and just... Ever heard of the saying, work hard in silence, let success be your noise? That's what Alia did. And number 5, Triple R by the one, the only SS Rajamouli. Abbas Kiarostami, who is one of the most renowned Iranian filmmakers, said this about cinema. Good cinema is what we can believe, and bad cinema is what we can't believe. When you consider a film like Triple R, there are so many things that might have seemed unbelievable on paper, on the script. But when Rajamouli brings all of that to the screen, along with his team, suddenly everything seems believable. Bhim's strength against the tiger, Ram's tunnel vision, and the spirit to capture that one man in a crowd of hundreds. When both of them came together under that bridge to save that boy, I believed what that VFX team pulled off with that bonkers interval sequence with the animals. And through all of these moments, that believability turned into ecstasy. Mark this video. I think that post Triple R, I believe that Rajamouli will make at least one Marvel film in our lifetime. At number 4 is 777 Charlie, directed by Kiran Raj. Having grown up with dogs almost my entire life and watching so many dog films like Beethoven, Marley and Me, and Hachi, I was already ready to love 777 Charlie after watching the trailer, but I still wasn't ready for what the film will finally do to me. Every single frame Charlie appears in is just designed to emotionally manipulate even the coldest of souls and the toughest of hearts. And I mean this emotional manipulation in the best way possible. All the other films on this list have entertained me in so many different ways, but I've not been so moved, so emotionally invested in any other character like I have in Dharma and Charlie. And I was just so happy to just submit myself completely to this journey, to laugh, to cry a little more, find some redemption, and then take a slice of that feeling into the real world. 777 Charlie is to my watch list this year like what Charlie is to Dharma's life. An oasis of emotion in a dry, monotonous desert. Before going to the top 3, I just want to make a few special mentions that almost made it to the list. Badhai Do by Harshvardhan Kulkarni. Possibly the sweetest, most empathetic LGBTQ story to come out of our country. Ante Sundaraniki by Vivek Atreya. Another lovely rom-com from the Telugu industry made unique by its refreshing storytelling. Gargi by Gautam Ramachandran, which has Sai Pallavi breaking out of her shell of comfort films and giving us a shocking, deeply affecting thriller. Jalsa by Suresh Triveni, another intricately crafted thriller with Shefali Shah and Vidya Balan keeping us at the edge of the sofa at all times. And finally, Darlings by Jasmeet K. Reen, a dark comedy around a super sensitive subject, Alia Bhatt's second success of the year, and Vijay Varma showing us yet again how great an actor he can be and reminding us not to take actors like him for granted. At number 3, Hridayam by the king of Malayalam romance, Vineet Srinivasan. Just like its songs, Nagumo and Darshana are still playing on my devices and on my mind, the visuals of Hridayam are still lingering around long after the film's release. Hridayam is pretty much my favorite kind of film. Introduce a likable but imperfect character, take me on a journey, on a train down memory lane, show me his life, his friends, the women in his life who deserved better, and his transformation from an immature boy, which all of us used to be, to becoming a better man, which all of us should try to be. At number 2 is Tiruchi Trambalam by Mithran Jawahar. We live in a time when most of the films that are working at the box office are these big budget action entertainers with macho male protagonists. Which is okay, I like those kind of films, but once in a while we need a kind of a change. Watching this film felt like going back to the 2000s. A feel-good story about a simple middle-class guy, his failed love stories, his broken relationship with his strict father, and his unbreakable relationship with his female best friend. Minus any action, minus any toxic masculinity. And to see such a film score big at the box office is just another reminder that none of us know what's going to work, what we actually want to watch. The audience is willing to watch any kind of movie as long as they're genuinely entertained. Right from the tone, the performances, the emotion between the characters, the colony setting, to how it explores a male-female friendship in such a genuine, beautiful manner that most Indian films fail to do so. Even if you had a few problems with the climax, the film gets almost everything right. And also, no matter how many great performances she's given, no matter how many different adjectives we've used to explain how great she is, can we just take a second to just appreciate what Nitya Menon did in this film. She's the beating heart of this film, and it would not have been the same without her. And finally, at number 1, Vikram by Tamil cinema's new hope, Lokesh Kanagaraj. After putting up 2 videos about it and watching it 4 times on the big screen, the only thing I can say about this film is this. I believe Vikram's success is destiny, written sometime long ago. I believe that even the film story is not about Vikram and Amar. It's actually about the actor Kamal Haasan and his protege Lokesh. The ghost Vikram is the long pending success of the actor Kamal Haasan, and Amar is actually Lokesh Kanagaraj, the new generation of filmmaker who's going in search of that relic, following every footstep and hidden clue that ghost left behind. And when both of them meet and the mask comes off, it's over for everybody else. And that was my list, my very personal list for the 8 best Indian films of 2022 so far. We have 4 more months left this year. There are going to be a lot more interesting films to watch out. If I've missed out on any interesting films this year until August 31st, let me know in the comments. Let me know the films that you liked. Put your own list in the comments. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.